doo-doo in his butt. Doo-doo is coming out of his butt, and you want me to believe that you couldn't smell that? I'm sorry, y'all get on here and y'all say a lot of stuff that's questionable and make me hard to believe what you be talking about. But you ain't gonna tell me that somebody pulled up to take you somewhere, and when they was going to get out the car, you could see the crack of their butt, and you seen doo-doo coming out of it, and it was even doo-doo at the top of their butt, and you telling me that you couldn't smell it? You're in an enclosed space. You can smell when somebody's breath stank too bad in a car, right? And you telling me somebody got doo-doo in their butt and you couldn't smell that? And it's just the fact that you seen the doo-doo in said butt and you still went somewhere with them. It's like, at what point do y'all say, you know what, I'm good. Like, I don't know why you don't clean properly, but I know at this point right here that this could never go nowhere. We could never be nothing. Nothing could come from this at this point because I've seen too much. It's just no way that y'all be wanting companionship this bad that you could see that and still proceed to go anywhere with this person. Like, I would have made up the quickest excuse ever to get up out of there. Right? Even if I wasn't in the mood to tell you what I seen, I'm going to get up out of there. You're never going to see me again, but I'm definitely not going nowhere with you. We're not going anywhere after I see that. It's nothing. But I refuse to believe that somebody could have that much poop in their butt and you couldn't smell it. All right? She even drew a picture of it, and it was a lot of doo-doo. It was a lot of doo-doo for you to not smell nothing. I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Hi ladies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this channel, my name is Miss Kafue. So ladies, today I found myself on the messy side of TikTok, and let me tell you something. I've not done a video like this before, but this video is one you should just grab your snacks for, get comfortable for, or continue what you're doing but turn the volume up. Ladies, let's jump right into these very interesting, very juicy story times, and then I'll be back to give my take on it.
There's a girl that I know, she don't want to be friends with me no more. And I can admit that, it's my fault. I could have kept my mouth closed. But I just couldn't pass up the opportunity, she was talking mess. Someone that me and her both know is getting married. And the bride is pregnant. But she don't care. She's like, me and my fiance having a baby, we getting married, point blank. And I'm 100% hyped for her. Because she not getting married here. She having a destination wedding. So I think that's pretty cool. But the girl I know who don't want to be my friend no more, she was like, oh, you will never catch me being pregnant at my wedding. Being pregnant at a wedding is just tacky and it's tasteless and it's really giving 304 and desperate and oh my God, like you will never catch me doing that. I said, yeah, because we caught you at 2 of your baby showers by yourself. That's where you got caught. To be pregnant at a wedding, you gotta have someone propose to you. I mean, someone's gonna have to want to marry you. And obviously, your 2 to 3 baby daddies didn't, because she got 3 kids. And we don't know if the daddy of the second baby is the daddy of the third baby or if it's a different guy. So it's 2 to 3 guys. So I'm like, you can't talk because none of them wanted to marry you. And yet you got 3 kids. You was pregnant alone at baby showers, opening gifts. What a shame. So now she don't want to be my friend no more. But it's cool though. Okay.
So I'm at work listening to this podcast, and this girl said that her baby daddy faked his death to get out of paying child support. She said his mom called her hysterically crying and was like, he got in a fatal accident and didn't make it. Fast forward to the funeral, she wasn't allowed to go because his sister had a restraining order against her, but their 5-year-old son went. And her son came back from the funeral like really sad and was like, he didn't get a chance to say goodbye because there wasn't a casket. So she just thinking that they ended up getting him cremated. So she trying to explain that to her son. So her son starts saying stuff like, I seen daddy today, and she just thinking he grieving, and then it just started getting weird because one day he came home from school and was like, daddy came to have lunch with me. So she go to the school to talk to the psychiatrist because at this point she think her baby is going crazy. So the principal ended up coming out and talking to her, was like, yeah, he was here a few days ago and had lunch with him because he's still on the emergency checkout. And she was like, well, that's impossible because he died, and like everybody in the front office looking at her like she crazy. So she ended up driving an hour away to his mom's house with her husband like banging on the door, and then his mom opens the front door and she see her baby daddy running off in the background. Come to find out, he had one of his family friends fake a death certificate for his mom to present to court, and now he's serving 6 years in prison because he faked his death, and her story is going to premiere on the ID channel sometime next year. Do you know how fucked up you gotta be to fake your death to keep from taking care of your child? Like, what the fuck be going through people's mind? Like, that is insane. I feel like the mom and the family friends should be held accountable too, because y'all was all in this shit together. Like, that's a fucked up family.
Target, you done messed up, girl. You done messed up real bad. So today I had to go into Target, not for the reason that you think. They put Kaiser's in Target now, so my son had a doctor's appointment. I had to go in there, and that's the reason why I spent no coin. So don't come for me, okay? Okay. Anyway, after the appointment, I needed to take a gander around the store because I have never ever, and I mean ever, in my life seen a Target so empty. I start looking down the aisles. I see nobody but employees. Okay, they looking at me, I'm looking at them, we looking at each other. And it's uncomfortable. It's like a damn desert town. With all this time on you guys' hands, what are y'all doing in there now? I hope you playing a big ass game of hide and seek, because that's all there is to do. There is no go backs. There is no Fulton Moore Club. Empty.
That man that sat up and beat his girlfriend like she was a nigga on the street, all because he said that he was DL. He's DL. Oh my mama, he's DL. Any nigga that would go to that extent to try to prove that he's not gay, he's gay. On my life, he's gay. And these niggas that be DL is the most dangerous type of... It straight strikes a nerve to me because I had a very fucking close friend just like this, and he was gay. And he was dealing with another nigga that was DL, and that man murdered him. My fucking friend. Them men are the most dangerous type of fucking men. And anybody that has to go that far to try to prove his sexuality, oh, he's questioning it. Because a motherfucker who knows that he's not gay is not gonna go that fucking far. These niggas be so quick. They be so quick to hit a woman, but would never ever step up to another fucking man like that. And another thing, y'all need to start looking these niggas up on CaseNet. They said this man has 3 pages worth of fucking charges. Hella DV cases. Look these niggas up before y'all get serious with them. On my mama. I'm talking, he hitting this girl on the bed. He punching her off the bed. He doing all type of shit. All because she said he was DL. Bitch, you're DL. Bitch, now what you think? You did all that, bitch. Now what you think everybody gonna think? Nigga that will sit up and yell at you uncontrollably. He throwing stuff around you. He breaking shit. He's punching around you. Those are signs that he's eventually gonna start beating your ass. Any nigga that's pushing you too motherfucking hard and it slapped you, oh, that's finna go to punching. And that punching ain't gonna work, so then he finna start getting a little bit crazier until you off this motherfucker. Pay attention to the sign, and on my mama, leave that nigga the first time. Leave that nigga the first time that you realize he can't control his emotions. Because those are the most dangerous type of men to be around.
Leave you and your child high and dry like this man did me.
I watched that 6-part story, so you don't have to. So basically, the mother, the father, and the daughter all live in a house together, and their constant argument is over gender roles. He feels like because he's a provider and she's a stay-at-home mom that he doesn't have to partake in any childcare, anything like that. And she, has aspirations to go back to school. She wants to do content, and he's like, no, I'm not helping you. I'm not giving you any days off. And so he ends up going back to trade school and ends up finishing that up, and she wants to throw him a graduation party. So she starts organizing that, and one of the days she tries to go do errands but ends up needing to help her mom. When she comes back, she's like, something's off in this house, like something's not adding up. She looks around and notices that his shoes and some of his clothes is missing. So she goes out there and asks him like, yo, where's your stuff? And he's like, oh, I moved into a hotel. And she's like, what is that about? He's like, I don't know, have a seat, I want to tell you something. He's like, yo, I really appreciate you and everything you've done for me. I wouldn't be the man I am today without you, yada, yada, yada. And then they fall asleep. The next morning, she wakes up and he works overnight, and she's asking him like, yo, what time are you coming home? Like, I want to know like when I can go run these errands. It's the day of the graduation party. She's trying to like do some last minute errands. And he goes ghost. The party's supposed to be at 2. He calls her back around 4 p.m. and he's like, oh, my bad, I fell asleep at the hotel. She's like, I don't understand this hotel business. Like, why are you staying at a hotel? And he's like, not really giving her any reasons. And she's already like, in her mind, like there's clearly another female involved. So he shows up to the party, whatever, they have it. The next day, she calls him and he's like, he goes ghost, right? He's like, oh, I went back to the hotel. She's like, I'm not understanding this whole hotel situation. Something's not adding up. The first thing she's thinking is like, there's another woman, clearly. She calls him again and is like, yo, you know what? If you're going to do all this, like, just stay where you're at. Don't even worry about coming over here. He has like some gardening business. So his family pulls up to her house to pick up his supplies for his gardening business. They leave, they come back. This time he comes back with them and he's in his ex-girlfriend's vehicle. Yeah. What the hell? So she clocks that teen. She's like, what the hell's going on? He's there to actually like collect furniture from the actual house. She's like, oh, hell no. The police get called. Please tell him you can't move anything unless you have receipts for it. So they leave. They come back. I kid you not, this man comes back with the actual ex-girlfriend. She's on the clock. She works for Child Family Services. She was on the clock, pulls up to this woman's house. And they're just like, what the fuck? So all this commotion starts happening. They're trying to get stuff out. The police are like, okay, start, removing things. So, she's trying to get this process moving along. So she starts helping to move the things too. The baby mama and her mother are there trying to move one of the television stands. And the sister, who's been fighting with them all day long, comes over and she like bumps her mother. And they're like, oh, hell no. So the police, before anything can pop off, the police grabs the baby mother's mother out the way, right? 15 people that were outside that all showed up with the baby daddy bum rushed the house. The cops had already told, like, you 15 can't come in here. Just a few can come and like move some furniture. They all bum rush it, try to grab the mother's bonnet. The baby mama launches, starts knocking people in the head. Her nephew gets pushed over. It just turns into this whole ass commotion. More cops get called. Everyone gets put into freaking handcuffs. The baby mama, the sister, and the mother are all in handcuffs. The warrant comes back as a bench warrant for the sister. So the sister ends up going to jail. Didn't expect that, right? They finally tell them, like, nobody can move any more items. Like, this has to stop. And basically, they start sending around a piece of paper saying, like, does anybody want to press charges? The girl's like, what am I going to press charges from? They're excited for stealing my furniture. What do you mean? What do they have? Like, so it ends there. And then basically the next video is her saying that she's trying to go shopping, but she just found out that her baby daddy served her with papers for full custody. How you going to abandon her, take all this stuff, abandon the baby, and then not ask for full custody? That don't make no sense. But yeah, that's what happened. Y'all go check out her page, show her some love. This shit's crazy, but damn.
I look good. Tonight we are here to celebrate us, and I look good. You all right? Long story short, we just want...
Can't hear you.
Oh. Sean, I've known you for 30 years. I love you, bro. Badu, known you for 30 years, too. I love you, too. That's all I'm gonna say.
This man is so interested in looking cool in front of his friends that he doesn't mind sacrificing his new bride to do so. You're going to say that you look good not once but twice, but then you're going to look at her with her hair and her makeup and her beautiful dress and say you look all right. Then you're going to take the time to shout each of them out. But we have no words for the bride? And then when you thought she was about to take the microphone from you, you snatch it away from you like, don't you dare embarrass me in front of my homeboys. It's the same thing with the cake smashing and the same thing with the embarrassing vows. It's all about performing for the audience of men in the crowd. I'm not a simp for marrying her because look how I talk to her. I'm not a simp for marrying her because look how I treat her. Like, it's always about the men in the crowd. That's why they do it. You don't have to be the groom that's moved to tears and bawling his eyes out watching his new bride come down the aisle with her father. But who you also don't have to be is the kind of groom that's too cool to tell everybody that he thinks his wife is beautiful on her wedding day after knowing how much time, effort, and money she put into doing so. You also don't have to be the groom that shouts out his best friends in his toast but doesn't mention his own wife once.
Y'all want to know what's crazy? People was asking me, didn't you used to be Muslim? Like, why did you go see Kirk Franklin? What are you talking about? You see, this is what I be talking about, how religion takes you away from God. Kirk talks about God all day, every day, and I'm down for that. Like, anybody talking about God, I'm down. Like, what do you mean, why did I go see Kirk Franklin?
I'm so embarrassed. I am in Target because I was going to come return something. I'm the only in here. I am so sure they're wondering what I'm doing here. It's not even funny. I'm so embarrassed. The more I keep walking, I was like, y'all standing on business. Y'all standing on business. It's like somebody dropped something brown on a white piece of paper. Boy, I'm standing out. I gotta get out.
Ariana, what are you doing here?
Don't worry about a return. Okay, there you go. He's Latina. Hurry up and get out of here too. Oh, this is so embarrassing. I literally feel out of place now. And I'm not one to prove a point by going somewhere and being like, uh-oh, I'm so different. Oh, okay, never mind. There goes one of my peoples. Let my people go. I must say, though, it's not as packed. Really, you can hear a pin drop in here. Let me hurry up and get out of here. Are we there yet?
I live in Texas, right? And you know what? I'm just like, all the stuff that's going on, I just sit back and smile because I saw this. I just want you to know that almost all of Texas blacks, a good percentage, we voted against it because I live in Texas. I saw what was happening. I knew what was coming. Let me tell you, here in Texas, the amount of racism I've ever even come close to experiencing from Mexicans, from Spanish people. When I was a dancer, when I was a stripper, every time I would go to the club, the way that the clubs were so racist. There was a time I went to a club out in Texas. What the fuck is it called? Damn. If I'm lying, there's strippers who will be in here. And the club told me that, oh, they don't hire girls like me. This is a club full of a bunch of, I would say, illegals, because I'm sure none of them spoke English. None of them spoke English, which I low-key think they was trapping out of there. They was pimping them girls out of there. And they said, oh, they don't take girls like us. We should go down to the club down the street, the black club. I just laugh because, let me tell you, karma is beautiful. Karma is beautiful. And you know what's funny? I went by that club a couple days ago. It's empty. It's empty. It's empty. Even though the racism applied to me, I still voted against all this shit. I voted against it. And guess what they did? Voted to hurt me.
Ladies, the men are right. We need to start dressing more modestly in the gym.
No, just put a shirt and pants on. Like, you're going to the gym in your bra and underwear.
Oh my god, shut the fuck up, dude. It was a joke. It was a joke. Hope this helps. So I was gonna end the video right there, but I feel like I need to explain for the people that just don't get it, okay? It doesn't matter how covered a woman is. You could be covered from head to toe. But if your ankle is exposed, men will still sexualize that. But she's revealing so much skin. Don't you reveal skin too when you wear a tank top and really short shorts? Why would men wear tank tops like that? Like, are they trying to get sexualized? No. It makes them confident. It's comfortable. It's breathable. Those are the same arguments that you can make for women athletic wear. So rather than tell women what they should or shouldn't wear, we should hold men accountable for how they view them.
Y'all, I got some tea, and this shit is so fucking messy. I had a client come to me for a reading because she thought that her husband was cheating. She had struggled with fertility issues, had a couple of miscarriages, and they hadn't been intimate because she couldn't stand to be touched. So I confirmed that he was in fact cheating, and a couple of weeks later, she found the proof that she was looking for. He fucked around, he got the mistress pregnant. And because the couple is very well known, he was like, we gotta get rid of this shit quietly. And the mistress was like, absolutely the fuck not. And the wife, my client, fucking agreed. They decided to avoid a lengthy divorce and a scandal that they were gonna make the mistress the surrogate on paper and pay her off to keep her quiet. They moved her into the fucking guest house. That's for her father-in-law to give her IVF treatments a month later as an anniversary gift. And not only did she get the IVF treatments, she got pregnant, and the babies are 5.5 months apart. Wait, it gets crazier. For her to have the treatments in the first place, she had to sign a shit ton of paperwork agreeing to a whole bunch of different requests. Like they would christen the baby even though she's not religious. That they would name the child after the grandfather if it was a boy, or if it was a girl, they would name it after his late first wife, which is crazy because his second wife is the mother of her husband, not the first wife. She had a girl, named it after the dead first wife, and then when the baby turned 6 months, they decided to do a joint christening. But an altercation broke out between the two mothers and they were separated in the church. And in that same moment, the grandfather took the granddaughter and his second wife, left the church, and had the baby for over 4 months before she could get the fucking child back, because the father signed some paperwork behind her back that stated if the mother was deemed unfit to raise the child in any way, shape, or form, that the child would return to its owner, the grandfather, because he paid for her existence. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the story of Abraham, Isaac, Sarah, and Hagar. Hulu, what's going on?
So let me get this straight. We are still trying to normalize living in unsanitary conditions. And when I say we, I don't mean me. I mean as mothers. So this is Cleaning with Bree here on TikTok, and she does this all of the time. I mean, you can look through her page and you can see that she posts content like this quite a bit. And here's the thing. Now, I don't just talk about anybody. I talk about people that constantly are living like this, and I just don't understand why. Now, yes, we get dishes. Yes, we have to take our trash out. But why is there trash in a laundry basket? Why? And why are you making excuses for yourself saying that you were busy the whole week so you didn't clean this up right away? And then I also want to know, why was your toddler or your child, whichever the two, why were they walking all through this while you were making the video? Oh, and then Bree also gets very butthurt if you even bring up why you're talking about her. Like, you can't talk about her, and she's like, why are you talking about me? This is normal. This is literally normal. And I'm not holding your hands when I say this anymore. This is not normal, and this is not okay, and this is not cool, this is not cute, this is not nothing. This is... I'm tired!
So my friend works for Walmart right now, right? And he's saying that the holiday theft is so intense this time of year that when they had their team meeting, they basically said that if customers can pay for most of their stuff, that's a good day. And I think that's so wild to think about, that at this point the theft is so bad. They're just like, hey, please at least pay for most of it. I know what they're saying is, apparently they're saying is act your wage and turn the page. Basically saying that if you see somebody stealing, be like, well, I hope the next customer doesn't do that, and just keep on with your day because you don't get paid enough to truly care that much. And the funniest part is they have cupcakes at the exit. Right? And if you let the receipt checker check your receipt in full, they give you a cupcake basically thanking you for not stealing. Honestly, it's really effective because the cupcakes are delicious.
Your thing says you do Brazilian waxing?
We do. We do offer Brazilian waxes.
Okay. Can you do one on me?
Unfortunately not. So we don't offer manzillions.
Why?
So that takes an advanced technique to be able to effectively do manzillion without hurting the client. And none of our staff has been trained in manzillions.
Okay. Well, got the wax pod. All you need to do is just put the wax on me, right?
Technically, yes. But because your anatomy is a little different than females, we would not be able to do that.
So you don't wax men?
I do, just not manzillions.
I got the money.
I'm not questioning that, but we do not offer manzillions. It does require advanced training, and that is not something.
Why is it advanced?
Why is it advanced training?
Because y'all waxing women. Like, why can't y'all wax men?
So even Brazilians could require advanced training. It's not something that my staff was even trained in school. They learned it once they graduated, and they went through a training course with me. But as far as manzillions, we don't offer manzillions. I can refer you to another one of my estheticians.
No, that's cool.
Friends that offers it, but unfortunately we don't.
I just thought, like, since I was here, I could just get it in.
No, but I mean, if you have any other areas that you like wax, we can definitely take care of that today.
No, I just want to do the manzillion.
Okay, yeah, unfortunately we wouldn't be able to do that
Is
today.
there anybody else that does manzillion here?
At this location, no. I have some friends that I can refer you to that specialize in manzillions, but
No, I want you to do my manzillion.
I'm sorry, unfortunately I can't. Would you like to do any other services?
No.
Okay, well, yeah, unfortunately I can't do a manzillion on you.
No, okay.
Sorry, I hope you have a great day.
You want to hear some juicy small town gossip in a town you ain't never heard of? Of course you do. Well, listen to this, honey. So there's this woman that is married to this man, and he was in prison. They were married like 5 or 6 years before he goes to prison. He stays in prison for like 3 to 4 years, I believe. Well, listen to this. So he gets out of prison. Everything's all hunky-dory. Well, within about a year or two, he goes back to his old ways. He starts partying and doing drugs and all the things, right? Well, he was like still on probation. He had to go and, do like monthly drug screenings, check in with his probation officer, all the things. Well, he was having his wife pee in the cup for him so he wouldn't fail his drug test. Well, she said that her sister Could you imagine? Yes, honey. Her sister started like coming around a whole lot, and she was like, that's really weird because we're not that close and she wasn't around when he was gone, so why is she here now? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, she said that they get in a big fight. Said that they fit like cats and dogs over the sister, and he was like, you're crazy, that's your sister. Like, I would never do that. Well, guess what she done? She leaves work early one day and comes to the house. Guess what? They were making out on the couch with her sister. He was making out with her sister. What the crap? I would die. So anyway, so she knew that his drug screening whatever was coming up in a few weeks, and she was like, I'm getting him back. Honey, she goes to somebody that she knew had them pee in a cup that she knew it wasn't going to be clean, that it was dirty, gives it to him. Honey, they sent him packing. Sent him right back to prison. I know, I about died. I cannot believe she done that. I can't believe he was making out with her sister. But yeah, anyway, there's you some juicy gossip in a town you ain't never heard of.
When I tell you I had no clue who this girl was, like I saw her in a stream, I was like, wow, she's so pretty. That's all I could really say, because I was like, okay, I don't know who she is. The track record on this girl, which is all allegedly, by the way, the track record, do you know how shooketh I was? Because what do you mean? She was friends with Ruby Rose and was messing with Ruby Rose's exes. And I literally saw in like an interview, she said, yeah, I slept with her because she slept with mine. And I was like, wait, what? Mind you, I don't even know what's in between. Because the next thing I saw that her and like Brooklyn had beef, or she was saying something, and that's the only reason why I saw her, because I was like, oh, I know who Brooklyn is. And then I got spun into the world of a triangle. And you could obviously tell there was animosity because she was talking to Brooklyn's ex, and she and like the exes were close, or whatever, we get it. But then it drops that her and DGG was, you know, doing the business in Mexico, and Hale had just given like birth or something. And I'm sitting here looking at this pretty girl, and I'm just like, why are you in this messy situation? Because as I continue to dive deeper, every video I'm seeing, I'm not liking. Then you get to the explanations and it's just like a whole lot of nothing. And then I saw that Ruby Rose had said like, oh yeah, she likes to sleep with all my exes. And I was like, oh no, Lala Baptiste, you too pretty to be doing this, girl. Too pretty. Like I just would have never known.
If you see a white boy with a black girl, they are either the most beautiful couple in the world, or he's her gay best friend. I'll let you guess for me. If I take you on over here, you will see that I have not one, but two teddy bears that I sleep with every night. And not only that, you'll see that I have a picture by my bedside of me and her. Let me show you. This is us when we graduated high school together. I'm her gay best friend.
Welcome to another episode of The BS we see on TikTok. Now have a sat so we can get into minding other people's business. Spot number 3 says she wanted to introduce us to Samantha, aka Scammy Sammy. Please, Miss Ma'am, tell us why you would like us to know about Samantha.
This girl is enjoying a Parisian vacation that she charged to my credit card. You heard that right. Here she is again inside the actual Airbnb that she ran up on my car. Here she is, shamelessly posting pictures on it. So since you care about social media and Instagram so much, it's time that I expose you for the scammer that you are. This is not what I feel like doing with my time right now. I have much better things to do, but you really thought that you were going to travel the world on my dime and be posting in live time and think that you're gonna enjoy your vacation? Her name is Samantha Lopez. She's based in Los Angeles, and she has a clothing line called Samantha Christine. Beware if you've ever seen this career criminal. She's on the prowl and wants to appear like she's living her best life, but really she is stealing information to make it happen. So yeah.
So let's try that again. So she returns home from her bachelorette party, checks her account, and notices $871 is missing. And you got me fucked up. Because if I notice $10 is missing out of my account, I am on your ass. Samantha, now you must have opened up your web browser and typed in www.ain'tgotnobraincells.com because you knew she was going to be able to trace it back to you, Thiefarella.
He gave me the Airbnb name, and then you see the payment down there. It's $71.49. That sounds familiar because that's the exact amount that was charged to my card. This is the Airbnb that they are staying. Here's another listing picture. It's actually a really, really cute place. You have amazing taste, Samantha. Too bad you just couldn't afford it. And if those little balcony overhangs look familiar to you guys, it's because she is actively in real time posting from the Airbnb that she stole my information to book. Beware of Samantha. If you know this girl, just know that she's a full-on scammer, like committing full-on credit card fraud. You have been warned, so no one else has to deal with this crap. So
Airbnb gave her all the information. And Sam, I hope when you get back from your stolen trip, you start picking up some side jobs because you're going to have to pay her back all of her coins.
Your toddler is on OnlyFans, but you're calling us haters? When I first saw Miss Shirley's video, the little toddler doing the boots on the ground dance with a little fan and popping her hip, I thought it was a harmless little cute video. She sees everyone else doing the line dance. She's of course going to copy it because that's what kids do. No harm in it. Then the mother started doing bookings. People questioned that at first, but I saw JoJo Siwa. She made millions of dollars for doing bookings for kids' parties and kid events. So I'm like, okay, well, there's no hurt in that. No, her bookings are at nightclubs and bars. Even when she met the singer of the Boots on the Ground song, they met at a club. I don't know him from a can of paint, but I would never let a random grown man I've never met a day in my life pick up my toddler daughter. Then there's the meet and greets, y'all. Every single one of her meet and greets are just random strangers picking up that little girl and taking pictures. Mind you, there's not another child in sight. But to then go onto OnlyFans, now we know you can have an account without doing risque things. The thing about it is people can pay you to request certain videos. That is 1000% what that mother is doing. So to call us haters, we're just looking out for your daughter, because that's exactly the type of person you are.
The first time I ever ate kitty, aka the poom poom, I was on a girls trip down in Florida. It was hot as motherfucking the devil's ass. So we were basically in bikinis all weekend. There were 5 of us girls. We all were sharing an Airbnb and it was a full-on party vibe. The amount of liquor in our systems was ratchet. This specific event happened in the evening after a whole day of being on a boat, drinking, and then we went out to the club, and then when we got home we all decided to get into the jacuzzi, all hanging out. And just keep in mind, I am the type of girlfriend with my friends that we kiss each other when we go out. We are just fucking menaces. We are running the club, just being annoying and feral. One of my friends asks us if we wanted to all have a little bit of extra fun. We're like, oh boy, Danny, what the fuck do you have up your sleeve? Goes to her room, comes back, and she's got a little pink box, and they were called spicy cubes. She did tell us that they were aphrodisiac gummies and that we just needed 1. So we all took 1. A couple of us, I don't know what the fuck we were thinking, but we took 2. 3 minutes later, one of my friends is scooching up next to me in the hot tub. She's like touching my face. She's got her hand on my neck and on my thighs. And I was like, girl, you know I'm about the kitty. Like, we can fucking get into it. And then next thing you know, we're hopping up out the hot tub, making our way back to my room. And then one thing led to another. You already know, but I'll just say she arrived multiple times. I will say that is when I fully discovered that I am very fruity. We are all still friends. We still talk about that night. It is basically now a core memory.
White women calling black women and femmes queen is really starting to sound like a microaggression to me.
Be quiet. We're not doing this. Women are catty, competitive, and mean, and what we're not going to do is take the moments where we're actually supporting one another and turn them into something ugly. This is the ultimate question. Why does white women supporting black women bother you? Why do you assume that black women will be offended or aggravated or upset by another white woman calling her queen? This high horse of self-righteousness, what does it do for you? We go back to the 90s. I feel like we just didn't care in the 90s. Literally no one cares. Everybody calls everybody queen. Men call me queen. But you, who is so triggered by unity, has to come in and disrupt things and cause division. For why? When did it become okay to make white people the ultimate boogeyman? As if white people are the only people on the planet with a sense of agency and everyone else is just lacking. It's racism. I swear, this new generation is creating new ways to be racist. Why are y'all so obsessed?
You know what's racist? Telling a black woman that she's not black enough to be black. Okay, I just want to speak on this issue because you know what? It's all up and down my page. Let me tell y'all something. I am mixed, okay? Mixed with black and white. There you go. Now you know. But all these comments, you know what's crazy? I get the most racist comments and racism from my black side more than the white. I really have never had a white person tell me anything negative, but I'll have my own color, my own kind will literally tell me stuff like, oh, you a white girl. Oh, why do you talk like that? Oh, you know, just little snooty snide remarks. Like, at the end of the day, we the same thing, mama. I hate to tell you. So, to answer your question, I don't think I am. But y'all gotta stop being racist. It's not cute. Leave that in the past. Thank you.
My thing is, if you white and you famous, why you ain't just go back and delete them tweets? Like, even if you white and you even have one video go viral, let's go back to the backlogs, because y'all all be having this little phase, and maybe that's morbid of me, but my point of view, every person I meet, I am assuming, I'm sure you have some anti-blackness, some racism, you said the N-word, whatever, The hope is that you're a better person, you've grown from that, you understand why that's wrong. Why are you giving people tangible evidence? Go and delete that. I don't even understand. Like, it's so simple. And then also, I'm so sorry. You're an internet person. Your podcast is literally just talking about other people. Why wouldn't you go back and delete that? Like, and the thing is, if you knew that you was like, I don't know, a little bigoted that recently, like, did you not remember tweeting? Nonetheless, also, y'all be a little bit more hurt by these things than I'll be a little bit surprised. I'm never surprised when something comes out, right? But the last influencer that it had me in my bag. This was my one and only parasocial relationship. And after that, I learned my lesson. Cody Cole, before we found out that he was weird, oh my God, he has said like the N-word mad long ago on like Vine days. And that wasn't even, again, because I already expect that y'all have all said it, you know what I mean? It was the way he went on his Patreon and typed 3 sentences in lowercase letters. That hurt me forever. I had to unsubscribe. I can never look at that man the same. That was crazy. But nonetheless.
Do you know what pisses me off? When girls who look like this only follow girls who look like this. Do you even realize that you're training your brain to see just one type of beauty? It's so wrong. The more we see something, the more we like it. This is how our brain works. It's pure science. That's why it's so important to get used to your own features. So here's what you can do. Go and find influencers, actresses, public figures that look like you. Go on Pinterest and create board filled with women that share similar features with you. And look at them every day. You can easily retrain your brain to see beauty from different perspectives. And you can easily make your brain like your features that you feel uncomfortable.
Ladies, here is a video of a woman finding feminine products that don't belong to her. Do you think this was smart of the side chick? Do you think this was dumb? Let me know what you think about this video in the comments below. Here's the video. These are also not her pads. She left, I think the side chick left things that purposely the wife would notice, but the man would never notice. Hey.
What do you mean? It's brand new.
So I'm like putting stuff away.
Yeah. Okay, how much is it?
Baby, if you're not on messy TikTok, where are you? That's okay, I'm about to fill y'all. There's this English woman or British woman on here explaining to us that she has to go to her fiance for him to uninvite his best friend. This woman overheard an audio clip of her fiance, George, best friend Ellie, explaining that George and Ellie should be together. George and Ellie are soulmates. She doesn't understand why George is marrying his fiance. I know you fucking lying. And get this, Ellie is a bridesmaid. Ellie has been in George's life since they were children. So this woman calls her fiance and says, hey, I am not comfortable with her being at the wedding. Can you uninvite her? He says, I don't want to be in the middle of this. You know how Ellie is. It's not that serious. Just blow it off. I'm going to blow your fucking head off, you boy. He says, no, I do not want her at the wedding. Did you hear what she said? George tells his fiance, his soon-to-be wife, the woman he wants to marry, that if Ellie is not at the goddamn wedding, there is no wedding. Ooh, Jesus. It would have took everything but the child of God for me not to jump on his ass. I tell you what you do, man. You let Ellie be a bridesmaid. When she shows up in that dress, have your other bridesmaids whoop her ass. Yep, you heard me. And then turn around and have your brothers, your cousins, your uncles whoop his ass. And then y'all have a party. Because baby, he do not want to marry you. That man is in love with Ellie. It is George and Ellie's death. That man is fighting himself. That is the woman he is in love with. They grew up together. His family knows him. He's comfortable with her. If he's so fucking comfortable with her to the point where he's telling you there will be no wedding without her, y'all don't need to get married. I am so sorry, sweet. Give that fucking ring back and save yourself a divorce, because that is what's going to happen. Because Ellie will be in every part of y'all relationship. She will be there for everything. And he is going to take her side every fucking time. Couldn't be me. Ellie would have had her ass whooped. I wouldn't even talk to that man.
Call me a terrible person for this all you want. Honestly, I don't care, because nothing makes me happier right now than knowing that my dad's mistress does not know that he's dead. I know that that woman is sitting there texting him, calling him. She's showing up at his house. She's wondering why he has not talked to her in weeks, and that's because he died last month and nobody felt the need to tell her, because it's really not any of her business. Like, it's nobody's business. We didn't do an obituary. We didn't do a death notice. We didn't put that anywhere that she would be able to find it. She doesn't know my married name. She doesn't know any of the stuff to find me on here, but my dad has literally had the same mistress since I was a kid in the 90s, okay? He's kept this woman through multiple wives. Actually, she was a wife for a little bit, but then he cheated on her and he got somebody else pregnant, so my grandma made him leave her and marry the woman he got pregnant. But then he still kept her as a mistress. Don't worry. She still got to stick around. Anyways, it just brings me joy to know that she's sitting there wondering, like, why she's being ghosted figuratively right now, but it's literally, like, she's literally being ghosted because he literally killed himself last month and is chilling in a box right now.
The fact that the entire internet gets to know this information before she does is petty on expert level, and I'm here for it. It takes a certain level of trauma to be able to have such dark humor and pettiness on expert level and appreciate dark humor in such a way, and I do. So I'm here for this.
Recovery from narcissistic relationships, what victims of emotional abuse really need. Like what, bro? Healing from toxic relationships and abuse. You don't have to go. Hey, that's crazy, bro. I'm speechless. You're a bad man. 8 ways emotional abuse traumatizes you.
What's funny? If I saw that my partner, who I've broken up with, was looking up ways to survive emotional abuse, my first thought would be to look inward. Like, what did I do to make this person feel this way? But you got your homeboy together and y'all sat around and laughed about it. You probably invalidated her feelings while you were in the relationship. That's why you feel so comfortable doing it now that you guys have broken up. Other than thinking for even a millisecond, what if she's right about me? Why did I make her feel this way? How can I be a better human being, if not even for her, but for the next relationship I enter into? Why not just laugh about it and immediately just dismiss it as her being a girl and girls are emotional? You've come face to face with evidence that your actions or inactions during a relationship hurt a woman so bad that she's desperately seeking how she can heal, and you still think it's a joke. Now, I don't know why you guys broke up, but I have a clue.
Here's some things that my soon-to-be ex-husband used to do that I didn't realize wasn't normal until after I left. When the Wi-Fi guy came to install our internet, he made me FaceTime him the entire time because he said that I might try and sleep with him, and then he still accused me of sleeping with him, saying that I could have slept with him before I called him or after I hung up the phone. Didn't tell me happy birthday until right before I fell asleep on my birthday, 2 months after we got married. Gaslit and manipulated me into not having a job and said, I just want you to be a stay-at-home wife. And then when like money problems would come up or any kind of issue with me would come up, he would complain about how I didn't have a job and how I'm just mooching off of him. Only came home and ate dinner with me maybe twice a week because he was at his parents' or his brother's house. He did not get me a Christmas present, but instead he gave me his debit card and said, don't know what you want, you got $50, go get yourself something nice. Complained and told me that I was folding his clothes wrong when he never ever did laundry, wash clothes, nothing. He told me over a year after we'd been married and I was pregnant that he wanted multiple wives, and then he was upset that I was upset about it. Got pissed when my parents bought us groceries one time. Told me that he didn't believe that our son was his son, and when I said get a paternity test, he said, I don't even want to because it could be so close to my brother's DNA that you probably slept with that it would just say that it was mine and I would still never know. When the electricity went out on 2 of our rooms, including a bathroom, and our washing machine was broken, and I tried to get him to fix it for about 9 months, he told me that I should have been more grateful, and that it was a test to me because people back in the olden days didn't have that kind of stuff, so I should have just been grateful that I had it in the first place, even if it was broken. Okay, that's all for now. Bye!
I know a pastor that would not let their daughters wear a seatbelt because it drew attention to their breasts.
Heard that. I thought that Christian fathers and husbands were supposed to be the protectors of the family, but this dad really said, I would rather risk your life than risk some random dude's purity, or his own. Because let's really think about that. He is saying out of the two bad things that could happen, one, this person falling into lust, whether that be himself or some other random person at the church, or his daughters losing their lives in an accident, he would rather go this route, because this is just bad. But this, it's worth the risk. And at the end of the day, this man is really telling on himself, because who in their right mind has ever seen a seatbelt and said, that is doing it for me? Try to contain yourselves, okay? If we are protecting adult men's purity above minor children's lives, we have a problem. And I really wish I could say that that video surprised me, but it didn't, because so many of you have said that your church had the same rule. And I always get this question on my church stories where you guys ask me, what church did you guys go to? These are so many different churches. This is not the same church. These are not the same people telling these stories. This is happening in so many churches amongst so many different denominations.
Why are you crying because I asked if your parents are racist and I'm the exception? Back in high school, my friend, she used to take me on all kinds of vacation with her family. My dad don't trust that spend the nice stuff. My wife and her family's doctors, nurses, love them down. Went on family vacation with them. I remember her saying, yeah, I can't date black men. And that's cool preference. And I was like, oh, okay. You don't like them? She said, no, my parents said I can't date them. I said, yeah. She said, yeah. I said, but you can be friends with me. She said, yeah. I said, but I'm black. She said, I know. And she was real shy back in, like, even till now, like grown adult, she's still shy. So I said, but I'm black. So like, what's different about me compared to my brother? Because at this point I started using my brother as an example. So you can be friends with me, but you can't date a black man. She ain't had no black friends either. I was her literally only one friend. Black, white, indifferent. It was just me. Because people thought she was a little slow, but she was just shy. I wouldn't say that she's slow. And I was cool with everybody, right? So I said, okay, I'm gonna go ask her parents. Remember, now we at the beach, so we all in the rental. So I said, okay, I'm gonna ask your parents. The girl started to cry, snotting. I wasn't supposed to tell you. No, they're not racist. I just can't date them. They're not racist, I promise. Till this day, I love her family. I've never brought it up to anybody because I was just like, I don't know. But I'm squinting at y'all.
There was a woman that I knew about 10 or 12 years ago who I just could not stand. Everyone loved her. Everyone thought she was wonderful and amazing, and I just did not like her. I tried, but I just couldn't like her. I thought she was conceited. I thought she was arrogant. I thought she was a phony. I thought that underneath this, facade of just being this amazing person, she was actually a bitch, and I was the only one that could see it. Everything that this woman wanted, she got. Everything that she put out into the universe, it came back to her tenfold. She lived this really creative life. She put her art out into the world, and people responded so positively to it. I lost track of this woman. I have not thought about her in a long time. I just decided out of the blue, she just popped into my head. I just decided to look her up on Instagram. And, just from the couple minutes I spent looking at her account, it is very clear that she is just thriving. She is doing all of these amazing things, and she is thriving and living this really beautiful life. What I realized when I looked at her Instagram account is that the reason that I did not like her all of those years ago was because I was jealous. I was jealous deep down in my bones. This woman was living the life that I wanted to live. This woman was putting her work, her art, herself out into the world. And the world responded positively to her. She has this beautiful family that has always supported her and uplifted her and is an active part of her life. And she is unabashedly herself. She has always been deeply authentic. And I realized that she is everything that I had wanted to be at that time. And looking at her Instagram account now, I didn't feel any of those feelings. I felt excited because I think for the first time in my life, I recognized that that life is a possibility for me. So I bought this like many years ago. I'm sure many of you are familiar with it now. I have tried to do it. I have been unable to do it. And I just started again. At this time, it seems to be taking. But I credit that realization to this book. If you have the wherewithal, if you are interested in really like excavating yourself in many ways and allowing yourself to be free creatively and authentically, you should give this a try.
Okay. This might be a hot take, but if you're a white person, do not cut off your racist family members. The reason why is that if you fully cut them off and you're like, you're racist, I'm done with you, they aren't going to associate you leaving them with their hatred, with their behavior, because they don't think that they're doing anything wrong. But slowly, if you continue to gain their trust in a neutral, objective way, you might be able to get through to them. I've seen it happen. I've had conversations with white people where I start out on their side. I let them say their sort of insensitive comments, slowly work my way in there to hear what they have to say, and then I flip it. So for example, a white person will say to me, maybe a relative, maybe a random person, you know, I'm just so frustrated with the amount of immigrants that's coming into this country. You can say, yeah, that's understandable. But I think it's important to keep in mind that immigrants are here to make a better life for themselves. There's enough room for everybody. The government could be doing a better job, but they're not. So ultimately, it's sort of their fault if you think about it. And those little objective statements are what get through to them. Do not cut them off. Please. It is our responsibility as white people to educate other white people. It is not the responsibility of people of color. Peace and love.
So ladies, I've really enjoyed a lot of these stories, like most of them, but some stories really stood out for me. For example, the story about this man who beats up his girlfriend because of his girlfriend asking him questions about whether he's on the DL. Let me tell you, something like that also happened to me 2 years ago. It was this situation whereby, and I've said this story here before. Let me tell you, I was on Facebook. You know how sometimes you're bored, you're on Facebook opening up spam folders, what, and then I see this message from 2019. This message was dated back to like 2 weeks after I had my son. So I was curious. When I opened this message, oh my God, it was a guy telling me, tell your baby daddy to focus on you because I'm not gay. Hey, tell him to focus on you because I'm not gay. Can you imagine? I think there's a reason why I did not see that message 5 years prior, because maybe if I saw it, I would have instantly fallen into postpartum depression, because what the hell do you mean? And let me tell you, the reaction, when you know what? I screenshotted that message and sent it to my baby daddy at the time. My baby daddy at that time is my ex. At that time, we are not speaking to each other. At that time, he's in another country. At that time, like even the co-parenting relationship has already gone south. Let me tell you, this man was so angry. This man was so fired up. This man started telling me how he would watch me DIE and not do anything about it. How, like, he was so furious. He was so furious, and that reaction told me everything I needed to know. And then fast forward, I talked to his girlfriend, to his current girlfriend, and his current girlfriend hits me up saying, oh my God, I've just realized I messed up big time. I just realized that this man is not who he told me he was. I've just realized. everything he told me about you was not true. I've just realized he's the villain. I've just realized he's on the DL. I've found evidence. Let me tell you, that validated my concerns all along, and that validated my feelings, and that confirmed to me that indeed I was never crazy. Let me tell you something, ladies, be very careful about exposing these men, especially men on the DL. Oh my God, that was a crazy story. Ladies, some of the other stories that really stood out for me was the IVF grandpa. The grandpa who took the baby back because he paid for the IVF treatments. Okay, that's really crazy. Like that's diabolical. And then this thing of saying that being dirty is normal. Hell no, sis. That's being dirty is not normal. Like for me, unfolded clothes is the farthest it goes. And those unfolded clothes will be like there for a day. And then the next day I'll just wake up early and fold them and do what is supposed to be done. But you having molded food everywhere, cans of you what everywhere, like some people are really dirty. Like I can't stay in a house whereby I'm walking past things. Let me tell you, I can't even have peace of mind in a dirty house. Unfolded clothes already like stress me out so much that I wonder, what of these houses whereby dirty dishes in the sink smelling, like diapers everywhere? Oh my God, I will lose my mind. Let me just be honest. And I'm the type of person who cannot thrive in a dirty environment. I cannot even be creative. I cannot do anything tangible in a dirty environment. I don't know about you. And the seatbelt story was really gross because that's about that man's urges. It's not about the seatbelt itself. That's about his own urges, which is gross as fuck. And let me tell you, telling a story about how you ate the kitty was also crazy. Like, why this is the most unserious generation I think I've seen. Hey, how dare you go to the internet tell people about that? But anyway, we are all different. And let me tell you, some other two stories that really stood out for me was the Samantha story. This girl who is stealing money from her clients. She's overcharging. She's charging her clients credit cards for her own benefit. Like, how far have people gone? How far have people fallen? Like, what the hell? And you think you'll do that and not get caught? What the hell is wrong with people? And let me tell you, another video that I really loved here is the video about the lady who left all her feminine stuff in this man's house because she figured out when the wife comes, she'll know. You always know what is yours and what is not. Right now, if you find pads that are not yours, that are from another brand, you know those are not yours, but your husband will not probably realize it easily as you will. I think that is smart enough. But also, why are you messing with a married man? But if you realize he's a married man and you left the evidence for the wife to see, then you're smart. But if you continue with the charade, then you're dumb. Why are you sleeping with the married man? Anyway, ladies, I don't know about you, but I really enjoyed this compilation. I really enjoyed it. Let me know, should I do another compilation? And the other one will be hot. It will get hotter. Can I make this into a series? Ladies, have a nice day and I'll see you in my next video. Mwah, mwah. Bye.